Hey everyone, welcome to Bourbon Battles. I'm Joe.
I'm Chad.
You really want that dumb shit put out?
I don't care.
Well, it's going to. You done opened your mouth now. So hopefully you've been following along and have watched some of the things we've been trying to do. And we went down this road and they don't get as many views, but we like doing them, so we're going to continue to do them where we talk about a specific distillery. So we've done Monk's Road. What else did we do? Wilderness Trail. So actually, the Wilderness Trail, several people sent me messages and said they went out and got a bottle of the Wilderness Trail rye after watching that, and they were pretty happy with it.
They should be.
Yeah, I think that's.
I think it's some of the best rye you can buy. Not trying to be funny.
Why is that funny?
I'm not trying to be.
Oh, it wasn't.
That's good.
So today we're going to do Journeyman Distiller, and we'll tell you a little bit about that after we get a couple things out of the way here. Take a minute to go to our Facebook, Instagram, TikToks, YouTube, depending on where you're seeing this. Like and subscribe. And hey, do us a favor, especially on YouTube. Comment, like, subscribe. All that stuff really goes a long way. We're going to make this big push here now. We need about 165 subscribers till YouTube has to start paying us.
We need about 10,500 subscribers, bud.
Well, but at 165 more, we start getting a check from YouTube. Don't get
for 64 cents every quarter or what?
Pretty much. I mean, it's really enough to buy nothing, but it would greatly help if you would do that. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, right? More importantly, go to www.patreon.com. Do you remember if it's a forward slash or forward slash? I can never remember.
I'm sure somebody would tell you if you said backslash.
I wish somebody would tell us. Nobody said a word about it. But anyway.
What was his name?
Patreon.com / stop. / Bourbon Battles.
Ah, Chuck.
Yeah, it was Chuck. So go over there. And so by the time.
Was it?
Huh?
Was it?
No, but
okay.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop. We
okay.
gotta get on with the
All
on.
right.
Otherwise, it's gonna be till midnight.
All right.
Check us out there at patreon.com / Bourbon Battles. You can join there, and there's a lot of content that goes out. It's a little more candid from us, I would say. We do little things like we talk about price and values and that kind of thing that we don't do here. But if you want to know the rest of it, you have to go over there. Now, we do a monthly giveaway.
You just said doo-doo.
Doo-doo. So by the time you see this, we will probably have already done our December because we're going to film it right after this.
I would think.
Giveaway. So, but you want to be in there for the January one, guys. The more Patreons we have, the better that prize is going to be. Now we're doing a nice one because it's Christmas time, and Chad reminds me of Santa Claus.
Without the beard or the belly.
Yeah. So, are you saying I got the beard and the belly?
You got one of the two.
Okay. So, check that out. There's a lot of good content over there that never makes it on wherever you're watching this. Good community, and we're going to try to foster that. We don't have a lot of people now, but we did just get 2 more people to sign up for. You have different tiers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first tier is like a Bourbon Battles drinking buddy. The second tier is a Bourbon Badass. We got 2 Bourbon Badasses now.
Really?
Yeah. Those guys are
I know
awesome.
a lot of... Yeah, that's fine.
You know, the names are coming up here. You'll see who the Bourbon Badasses are. I know some Bourbon Wise Ass, Whiskey Wise Asses. We don't have a Whiskey Wise Ass category.
You know a couple.
I know one. So anyway... Today, Journeyman Distillery out of Michigan. So if you're familiar with them, that's great. There's one whiskey in particular that kind of put them on the map that we'll talk about. It's one that won the big awards. So we'll get to that in a second. They've got roots going way back a long, long time. We'll talk about the more recent history. They opened in Michigan in 2011. Have you been there?
I'm not.
They're opening soon. 2023 is all we know right now. I don't think they set an actual opening date in Valparaiso, Indiana. Way up there north, right? You ever been to Valparaiso?
I have. Several times.
So
I'm going there Saturday.
Is there a basketball game up there?
There's not. There might be. I'm not going to a basketball game.
Have we talked about the IU Purdue football game since it happened on here?
I think so.
I don't remember who won.
Purdue did.
Oh.
Just like I said, that's why I wouldn't take the bet.
What about basketball? You want to do it for basketball?
Yeah.
Where do they play?
Both places?
We'll do it both times.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do
February 4th, February 24th.
that. So it's coming sooner than you think.
Sooner than you know.
Yeah, so we'll figure out all the details on that, let you know. See, Chad will have to probably wear a Purdue shirt. You look good in a Purdue shirt. So at the distillery location, we've got a lot of neat things there at Journeyman Distillery. Restaurants, bars, a golf venue, wedding venues, which is getting super popular.
Do they have any whiskey?
That's what we're getting ready to say. Look, we do have a teleprompter. So their spirits, you gotta get your arms out of the way, or you gotta read what their spirits include.
They got a rye.
Well, you gotta.
It's called Last Feather Rye.
Yeah, they got a bunch of different ryes.
They've got a Three Oaks. They got a single malted whiskey called Three Oaks Single Malt. They've got Joe's favorite, which is Kissin' Cousins whiskey. I think they've got a Featherbone whiskey, a Silver Cross whiskey, and then they've got corsets, whips, and whiskey. What the hell is that?
So that facility where they make that at one time was a corset and a buggy whip factory.
Okay.
So they called it the Corsets and Whips.
That's the name of the distillery?
No, the name of the distillery is Journeyman. The name of the whiskey is Corsets, Whips, and Whiskey. Because they made corsets and buggy whips in that building at one time. That's how they came up with it.
Sounds like an easy way not to call it straight bourbon, to be honest.
It's wheat whiskey. It's not bourbon.
Gotcha.
Which we'll talk about it there. They're in Three Oaks, Michigan. So we'll talk about that in a
I don't
minute.
know where Three Oaks is.
They also make you do?
I do not.
I think it's right over the border, but I could be mistaken. They also make it not a king rye, a buggy whip wheat. They make brandies, gins, vodkas, rums, aged rums. And then they have what they call a field collection. This ties back to a museum in some fashion. It's kind of what the labels look like on all of them. But in this collection, they make a rye, which this is the rye. It is a flavored rye. Let's make no bones about it. It's not a finished rye. The flavored whiskey, rye whiskey, vodka, gin, limoncello, cherry rye, liqueurs, bourbon cream, and others. They got a lot of stuff up there.
They've been open for what, 12 years?
Yeah, roughly, depending on what month they opened. 11 years, 12 years, somewhere in there. So what we're going to taste today, we'll go through these one at a time, then I should get into tasting them. We'll skip this. We'll do this one last. So we're going to start with what they call Not a King Rye. Here's what the label looks like. This was scored 93 points by Wine Enthusiast. I think that's a pretty good score. It comes from a single distillation. When we talk about the mash bills on all of these, they're all organic. 60% rye, 35% corn, and 5% barley. This one comes in at 90 proof. You want to grab you a glass here and go through them?
Sure. Now, when you say all organic, what do you mean by that?
That's what they say. I would assume they're organic, non-GMO, all that business. Would you take it that the same way?
Well, yeah. I would think the water is probably not organic, but that's just my opinion.
They're just talking about the grains in the mash bill.
Gotcha.
So you being from non-organic water, you'd say it's going through an RO system, right?
Probably got chlorine in it.
Could have. Not a King Rye. It's not real. I don't know that rye.
It's got an interesting flavor.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time explaining what I taste, but that you get from most ryes. That you don't get that there. You know what I'm trying to say? The heavy
muted.
Yeah,
but it's pretty drinkable.
Yeah, it's a pretty low rye content, I think, for a rye whiskey. It has to be 50. They're at 60. It's pretty good.
Yeah, the corn makes it a little sweeter, I think.
Yeah. Gosh, I wish I could put.
And I hate to say this, because a lot of people drink rye and talk about dill pickles, but I kind of taste dill.
You a little dill in there?
I do.
If you don't watch our show very often, we don't really give a lot of tasting notes. Sometimes we will. Not to say we
Why
don't
don't
do
we?
it, because they're stupid. They're stupid. They're stupid. They're stupid. So we just got this long response. So we do these 60-second YouTube videos, right, where we grade something like we're back in school. We did Eagle Rare some time ago. It's been months ago, and somebody commented on it how stupid it was that we just gave it a grade and didn't talk about tasting notes.
I have to watch it.
That's what I shut it off. So anyway, we got fresh glasses for everything, bud.
Okay. That's not a bad drink.
No, and by the way, thank you to Journeyman Distillery for sending us some of this stuff. We really appreciate that. So, yeah. The next one we're going to do is Last Feather Rye.
It's a different rye.
It's a different rye, but what's interesting about this is one of our Patreons, Steve, and I had a long conversation about that. He's a fan of this.
It doesn't have any corn in it.
It's a wheated rye.
I know.
Which is very interesting, right?
I've never had it. I've never had one at all. I don't think.
That's kind of.
I don't find out.
I don't know if I have or not, but I don't know that I've ever heard of it. Right?
Mm-mm.
You want to read the mash bill while I pour them up?
60% rye and 40% wheat. There's no barley. There's nothing in it. How they ferment it?
I would say they have to use enzymes.
Yeast.
Well,
Yeast only eat barley, I think, but maybe not. I don't know. They gotta get the sugar out of it somehow.
so I know that like Wild Turkey uses 12% malted barley. You know why that is?
Because 13% costs too much.
No, because anything under 12%, you have to add enzymes to the mash for it to work.
I did not know that.
And they want it to be as natural as they can. So anything under 12% barley, you have to add enzymes.
Jimmy Russell's old school, bud.
Yeah, would you even dare as to say he likes to kick it old school?
I would not dare to say that.
Jimmy, if you're watching, we love that you kick it old school. Last Feather Rye, Journeyman Distillery. I'm a pretty big fan of that.
It's like drinking tea.
And we got the proof on there.
No, but there's no burn.
90 proof.
There, you get a little weedy hug at the end, but I mean, going down.
Grain forward a little bit. You could taste some of those grains.
I would hope,
There
since
we
it's
go
made
for
out of
Dan.
100% grain.
There's no water in it.
Oh yeah, they had to prove it down.
So I think that's pretty tasty.
It's not bad.
So I'd be really curious if any of you know of any other manufacturers, distilleries.
That's the first wheated rye that I've ever had.
If anybody knows about any others, let us know, because I'd be interested to taste it side by side with this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they opened in 2011. Surely not the first ones to think of it, right?
And I won't say wheated rye, but I'll just say rye with wheat in the mash bill.
Yeah. You can call it wheated rye if you like, bud. Now we're going to come back to this one. We're going to go back up to this one. So we showed a picture of it earlier. Of course, it's whips and whiskey. 2022 Ascot Whiskey of the Year. It won the Wheated Whiskey of the Year, then it won the overall Whiskey of the Year in 2022. Are you familiar with the Ascot Awards?
I'm not.
So are you familiar with the awards out in San Francisco?
The San Francisco Spirits Award?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Fred Minnick used to do that, and then he started his own called the Ascot Awards. Got all these tasters, like these super awesome whiskey. I don't. Why didn't they call us?
They haven't seen it. They haven't seen yet.
So you think when he sees it, we'll get a call?
Well,
You would think.
I mean, once people realize who the Internet Tag Team Champions are.
Yeah. So this award comes out of Fred Minnick and his crew. They drink everything blind. This is a single barrel product.
We drink a lot of things blind. Why do we do that?
Why do we drink things blind? Because we don't give a rat's ass what's on the label. We just like good whiskey down here at Bourbon Battles. If you don't... Oh, speaking of that, we could go on a tangent about our last video that went out, Maker's Mark 46 against
I'm not going on a tangent.
Pappy. No, we could.
Just let it speak for itself.
Yeah. We got some interesting comments, but overwhelmingly the comments were that they agreed with us. So,
well, a lot of... Yeah. Would you disagree if you spent 6 months of your life and $500?
$400.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's just like if you go out and buy a sports car, right? And then you find out it's a piece of shit. You don't want to tell everybody because you got duped.
And Maker's 46 is on every shelf in every convenience store. And
Like
every
a Ford F-150.
It's everywhere.
It's like an F-150.
Yeah.
Compared to a NASA truck, which would be the Van Winkles. So anyway, this is a wheat whiskey.
Did you just say NASA truck? Anyway.
Yeah, something that they make at NASA. You rode one of them?
Mm-mm.
Fast as all. So this,
I hear they make good fried chicken at NASA.
who told you that?
A former astronaut.
Where's he from?
Orlando?
Florida?
No, Orlando. Yes, Florida.
Oh, do I know him?
No. Get on with the get on.
Listen. So anyway, Whiskey of the Year 2022. It's a very reputable awards group. I've had this. I'm not going to say that I necessarily agree with the best whiskey of the year. We'll get on to tell you what we do like about it, and if we do like it. Listen to this: 100% natural grown Michigan wheat. That's your mash bill.
Pretty authentic then.
It's cask strength. Ours is 117 proof. Have you ever had this before?
Nope, and I just wanted just a little bit. That's
Like
good.
that?
Yep.
That's good. That's just a tablespoon.
All I want.
Just a spoonful of sugar. This got pretty difficult to find there for a while when it won the award, and I think it's fairly easy today.
Yeah. I might go up there and take a stop by in the next month.
Are you going up there?
Mm-hmm.
Figure out where it's at, man, because they got some good stuff up there, I think.
I'm going to go snowshoeing.
You are?
I am.
They make snowshoes to fit your big feet?
I got a pair.
All right. Let's get on with this whiskey. It's got a very unique nose to it. I don't know that I necessarily like the nose.
But it's not hot. It's got a little ethanol in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's 117 proof. I mean.
But man, does it have
look at the legs on that.
Get out of here. But man, it has a very interesting flavor to it. And a really nice long finish. There's water down there if you need some water, Chief.
So for 117 proof, it's not hot.
No. I will say this.
But it is, you're right, it's warm on the finish. And it lasts a while.
This bottle was not one that Journeyman sent to us. I had this. I will say I'm glad I have it. I will not say it was the best whiskey I tasted in 2022.
Peppery.
Like black pepper or white pepper?
Green. I would say more like red pepper.
Crushed red pepper for pizzas?
Like cayenne pepper for enchiladas.
It's pretty tasty.
It's not bad.
Very unique. We need to do it against Bernheim and some Woodford wheat just to see what we think. But I think it would stand up against those pretty well.
Yeah, it's not bad.
High proof for most wheat whiskeys, I believe. Do you have any Parker's Heritage wheat?
Mm-mm.
I do not either.
Why would I have that when I could buy a bottle of New Bernheim? It's the same thing. I'm just saying, it's the same thing. One's put in a fancy bottle and one's not. That's it.
You have to wait in line for 16 hours.
That's why I don't have a bottle.
What happens? So Heaven Hill did a thing again where they released Parker's Heritage yesterday, 2 days ago. If you're watching this video, I think.
And the finish is long on that.
It's still going.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's not bad.
People waited in line for like 16 hours. You know what's funny? They give out wristbands now, right? When they open, and they call you back in a little at a time. They had plenty of wristbands going up to people who got there at like noon the next day. So everybody that waited in line for nothing. There were people there in lawn chairs sleeping when the place closed the day before. What happens if you have to poop?
What's wrong with you?
I'm just asking. What do you do?
What's wrong with you?
Kroger sack?
What's wrong with you?
So the last one we're going to talk about while I'm doing this, you want to talk about the field rye?
Field rye?
Yep.
It also won, does it say platinum medal?
You need glasses, bro. Platinum medal.
I don't need glasses. What's SIP awards?
SIP?
That makes sense.
I'm just saying.
What's it stand for?
I don't know.
It's the same thing. It's 60% rye, 40% wheat.
Yeah. So
what's it flavored with?
This is a flavored whiskey. Let's be real clear about that. This is proudly distilled for the Field Museum, which in Michigan. 90 proof fig is the flavor added to this. You've tried this before,
I like
right?
fig.
You do?
Yeah.
You like Fig Newtons?
Yeah.
Handcrafted.
Who doesn't?
My grandparents always had them. Handcrafted small batch rye whiskey, sweetened with natural fig, proudly distilled for the Field Museum. So this is not a rye whiskey. This is not a bourbon whiskey. This is a flavored whiskey, but it's at 90 proof. And I think it's absolutely fantastic. Got a great flavor to it. Very unique.
Is it good?
Hmm?
You can taste the fig in it.
Yeah. What do you think?
Tastes young.
About as dark as coffee. I don't know. It's very interesting.
It is.
I don't know where you can get that. I've never seen it around here. I assume it's Field Museum.
Or the distillery,
Probably.
probably.
The distillery. So, all in all, for a young whiskey company, 12 years old-ish, what do you think?
It'd be worth going to, especially if you're in the area.
It'd be worth checking out for sure. I'd like to go up there,
And maybe if you see a bottle on the shelf somewhere and you're interested, try it. I mean, I don't think any of the ones we tasted were bad enough to say, I wish I wouldn't have bought that.
What's your favorite of the group?
The second rye.
This one. This is a little bottle, Last Feather Rye, the weeded rye. I would agree with that. That's my favorite of the whole group. I like it better than the weeded whiskey that won the Ascots. You got anything to add?
I don't.
Hey, if you're up in Michigan, go check
out Journeyman Distillery.
Check them out. Thank you, Journeyman, for sending some stuff down here for us to taste. We like that. Hey, and if you're a Patreon member, there might be some Journeyman stuff in one of the giveaways.
True story.
Yeah. Every month we give it away. www.patreon.com/Bourbon Battles. Check it out. We'd love to have you over there. In the meantime, drinking bourbon is supposed to be fun. It's fun to go get some of this stuff. Try it with your friends. The biggest value in whiskey is flipping it, right, for extra money.
Yeah.
The biggest value is opening it and sharing it with your friends, making memories.
Well, and don't be a whiskey wise ass.
Or a bourbon butthole. Just don't do that stuff. Hey, drinking bourbon's fun. Do it with your friends. Do it responsibly. Don't drink and drive.
You're not supposed to drink and drive.
What do you think you ought to do?
If you drink, don't drive, do the watermelon crawl.